rolling?
Yeah.
We're rolling? Okay. So, in a couple of days' time, I'm going to go out to do something called the Half Marathon des Sables. It's a bit like the Full Marathon des Sables, but half the distance, surprisingly. And the approach is pretty much the same. You're going to be running in the sand, you're going to be carrying all your food on your back. So, instead of the 7 days that you've got to be self-sufficient for the full MDS, I've only got to do it for 4. But I wanted to quickly take you through the kind of foods that I'm going to be taking. And this is really close to how I approached the full MDS when I did it back in 2015. So if you're doing the full MDS, you might be able to get some tips from this. So really, really quickly going to whistle through all the food I've got. I've broken it down into 4 days. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. 30 kilometres, 60 kilometres, rest day, and the final 30 kilometres on the finishing day. And I've got some miscellaneous things. So what am I going to do? I break it into packs. So I basically split down my breakfast. So for breakfast, I've got here, this is some protein powder and some more protein powder and a little bit of carbs, tiny little bit of carbs, but that is a liquid breakfast. That makes it really nice and easy. In a bottle, drink it, job done in the morning. Nothing, no prattling about with the stove, love that. I've also got one of my favourites to add a bit of flavour. I'm going to probably put that in the mix. I've got a 33 shake, all natural ingredients like seeds and salts, and there's a bit of flax seeds, a bit of hemp seeds, organic almonds. There's all natural flavours in here. These are great for the morning to get you going, keep you going for a little bit. I've got a packet of supplements that I'll be taking. In there, you've got some fish oils, good for getting the fat systems working. I've got some some immune system kind of boosters, and some other bits and pieces that will keep my system kind of fighting and fresh and nicely ready to go for the day. Then we move on to the race fuel. And I pack it up into these little vacuum sealed packets. So they're easy to whip off with a knife and pour in the bottle. And I'll basically take 3 of these, one of these for each of the 10k aid stations. So in here I've got a mix of pentacarbs, that's like a carb sports mix, and with another product called Poliquin Rise. And the Poliquin Rise is a bit of a mixture of, I can never remember the word, salts and magnesium, all those kind of things, potassium to keep you hydrated. I'll do 3 of those. So one of them is the mix of pent carbs and rise. One of them I flick then just to normal rise, so that I'm not getting overloaded with carbs, and I'll go back on my 3rd bottle of the day with a mix. I'll also take some of these little tablets. Those are beta-alanine. They give you a little bit of a kick to the system. And then after the race, I've got a mix here of carbs and a product called Thrive. So this Thrive basically has a lot of recovery stuff in it, which will get this down straight after my race, and that's going to help me to recover. And then I go back to, after that bottle, I've got a protein mix with something else here. You can see it might be a little bit red. There's a product called Poliquin Wellness Greens. All of this stuff is basically designed to give my system the best fighting chance of being ready to go the next day. So there's other things that help support my immune system, keep my gut healthy, keep me firing. After race I'll have some more fish oil tablets. And then we get into dinner. Expedition foods. These are brilliant. I used these last time round. Whip off the top, 1 pot of hot water in there, and you get this dried food comes to life. There's about 2,200 calories or so in this pack. No, there's not. That's a lie. There's 808 calories in this pack. 2,200 per 100 grams. And that's for 150 grams of weight. So you get a lot of calorie for the weight. It tastes alright as well. I've got mild curried beef. I've got sweet and sour chicken with rice, and I've got a beef and potato hot pot. And then I get into the sort of nice stuff. I've got a bunch more sups, which I'll take with my dinner, and then I get into some nice stuff. Got myself some texture, mixed nuts. Can't beat some mixed nuts. They were great when I took them out in the desert. I've got a few vegetable crisps. Sorry, Ivor. That's my coach, won't be happy about that. And now these can be used, I'm taking these as a double whammy because I've got, this is a Velo Forte. This is like an endurance bar. Totally natural, gluten-free. It's a mix of apricots, almonds, and fennel. Now these are really sort of for endurance out on the run as much as it is for afters. But I'm taking those as a double whammy. So if I haven't eaten it during the day because my race fuel has done the job, I've got this to look forward to in the evening, or even I can top up with breakfast and have a bit, whilst I'm out on the course. So that's a 2 for 1. And then I've got what the Moroccans tend to run with when they win the MDS, and that's a little bag of dates. I love my dates on the run, so they're just a nice little sort of sweet treat that's all natural out there. And that's basically like a day's fuel. And I repeat that for day 2 when I do the 60Ks. The only difference really is that I take extra bottles of the race fuel, the carbs and rise mix, and I'll take a few more bottles to get me through the 60 Ks. On my day off, I do exactly the same, but I leave out obviously the race drinks. But I've still got my good proteins. I've still got my fish oils. I've still got all of my good nutrients going in. I've got my sups to keep me nice and healthy and strong throughout. And that's basically it. On my last day, I've got the same kind of deal. And I've got a few miscellaneous products here that I'm going to carry in my bag, which I'll use for running. So, the one thing that I've got, which is really important, is I've got my precision hydration. These are 1500 strength, 1500 milligrams of sodium. I'm going to take one of those every morning in a 500 ml bottle, about 40 minutes before I run, 40 minutes to an hour. And I'm going to take one of those every evening when I'm sort of doing my prep. I'll probably have it with dinner. Those are going to give me the salts in my body before I start running. That means that I'm going to be able to cope with that heat a lot more. I'll also be using a precision hydration powder tablet in a bottle as I run as well. I've got some of these as backup. This is basically that stuff in capsule form. Those will be in my pocket. If I get really desperate and I'm not hydrating well on the course, I can have some of those to top up my salts. You need the salts to make sure the water's going in and out. I'm taking these. These are emergency. I said I'd test them, so I'm just going to take them and see how I get on. If I need something with a bit of a different flavour, those are salt sticks. And then this one, I'm probably the most excited about out of all of it. This is called Unit Rinse. And this is a carb rinse by Unit Nutrition. And what a carb rinse basically does, you swill it around your mouth. You can swallow it, you can spit it. I will swallow it because there's calories in that and I'll need them. But it essentially fires the brain systems to make you release the good chemicals. So it'll give you, I'm paraphrasing here, but it'll basically give you a big punch of energy and feel good for all those dark moments. So I've got one bottle. You rinse about a quarter of this bottle every 15 minutes and it'll give you a kick. So I'm going to save that for those moments when I'm feeling pretty dark. That'll probably come somewhere in the middle of that 60k on the long day. And that, my friends, is how I will be fueling the half MDS in 2018 in Fuerteventura. These will all go into Ziploc bags, and I'll have them in my bag. So I'll have day 1, day 2, day 3, race pack 1, race pack 2, race pack 3 for all of the aid stations, 2 bottles, one with my sports drinks, one with water and the precision hydration, and that's it. This weighs about 2.5 kilos, I think, 2.5 to 3 kilos for 4 days food. I'm pretty happy with that. I'll get lighter as the week goes on. And if you want to do that for the MDS, I reckon that's a good plan. It worked for me last time. I fingers crossed it will work again. Thanks, guys.